Be all of you welcome again to the channel. In this chapter we're going to try to get the campaign done. By that I mean taking the rest of Mexico and perhaps doing some advances in the Balkan theater. So what just happened in the last chapter is that we moved our troops that were over here in the area of Sofia. We moved them to the south, we board them into this fleet, and we managed to help and support the Greeks that were being besieged in their capital in Athens.
Ready and able.
With this guy, which is called General Francois, we managed to defeat a Turkish army that was assailing the region. So now we're going to move and see what is going to happen in between turns, and perhaps with the money that we have we can take one of our diplomats, like this one. I think this one is... I'm going to move this fleet here, and we're going to board him here, and then we're going to send him here, and this way we can talk with these guys and perhaps make a bribe. Let's see if this is going to work. Sometimes I try to do it a few times, so the AI perhaps is going to accept something. So apparently this is the army that we defeated. They just retreated into this Greek settlement. Actually, it's the Turkish settlement here in the north, in Thessaloniki. Now this guy has a cast iron cannon. We saw what is the actual damage that these guys over here can do. We can see here that they have attack against buildings 250. And with troops it has 50. The other thing that we can see here is the Arab tribesmen. These guys have a 37 missile attack, 4 melee attack, and a charge bonus of 3. This guy is Crown Prince Mustafa, and he has 3 authority, which is called here the Dread Schools. Okay, now let's go to Mexico here. Before ending the turn, we can already note that this army here, it's a full stack army that is just in the vicinity of Mexico City. Over here we have another full stack army, and here we have the Prime Minister Miguel Francisco. So this is now the Prime Minister, and the thing is that we have to take Monterrey for us to be able to destroy this faction. The situation is that we just took the city, and we clearly can't move north directly to Monterrey, and it's not going to be very smart because we would leave Mexico City without any garrison. The other thing that we can do just before ending the turn is perhaps take this guy and send them to here, so we can continue the blockade of the port of Monterrey. Over here we see General Francisco, and this is another troops that we can see over there. Perhaps we can talk with them and try to bribe them into our cause. So this General Francisco Florencio is now telling us that they will fight for us if we give them 17,000 gold. So we're going to say okay. So now we can see that we have this unit here is not what we expected, but by having this unit here we can send them here and just maintain the siege. Let's move this guy over here and see if we can try to tell what is inside. We see three types of units. We see hunters and federal infantry. And here we see President Jose Refugio. This guy has a 4 command and 2 popularity. Take a note that in this mod, the actual chivalry symbol means popularity, and the actual dread symbol, let me show you again here within the area of the Balkan theater. Over here we can see that the dread one is authority. So now that we have that out of the way, I think it's enough for us to end the turn. And perhaps if these guys could reach the, we can send them directly to here, but instead of moving them, I'm just going to leave them here. If for some reason these guys decide to go straight here and attack, let's end the season and see what is going to be the move of these full stack here that we're seeing here, and what is going to be the move of this one here. So definitely they decided to attack us, so we're going to withdraw from battle.
My Sultan sends me with word for your leader.
Okay, so now we have the Emirate of Afghanistan that is now approaching us with a proposition. They want trade rights and they demand a little bit of gold from us. The thing is that they are at war with Great Britain. It is actually very good for us, so we're going to accept the trade rights in exchange of that amount of money, because we're going to gain more by trading with them than the actual 200 gold that they are asking. So now we have a candidate for promotion. The benefactor is Prince Joachim. So we're going to take this guy. This is going to be a good guy for us to take. So there's a little bit of problems in Sofia. Here we see as well that in Mexico City we retrained the Suaves and we retrained the Senegalese. The other thing that we can see is that we have repaired a lot of things in actual Sofia and Mexico City. We have repaired the huge stone walls, so this is going to give us an upper hand on the region. The other thing that we have done is to create in Mexico City martial law. Okay, so let's go to Mexico City, and now that we have created the martial law, we're going to go for the military administration. Over here we can see and remember that military administration is going to give us public order bonus 5% and administrative budget plus increase in tradable goods. If we go here to the financial details, we see that our projected treasury is going to be 36,000, which is pretty good. Now let's see what else we can do. Perhaps we can go and start bribing different guys here. I'm going to take my diplomat here again, and I'm going to send this guy here and bribe these guys again. They are going to accept. This guy is called Antonio Abundio, so we're going to say okay. And now what we have here is the actual general, which is a very powerful general over here. You can see that this guy has a command of 5, a popularity of 3, very loyal, and this guy has a drill master with him, which increases the movement points of the actual unit. So here we see that he's sharp, charismatic, and vigorous. Budding bureaucrat, aspiring commander, promising strategist, promising tactician and logistic expert. Another thing we can do is to take this merchant marine. These guys have 28 of missile attack and 6 in melee attack. It is a very standard unit, so I'm going to take 2 of them. This is a mercenary unit, so we're going to hire them. And with these guys, we're going to move directly to the north. And we're just going to bring these guys here. So we're going to be able to get this amount of troops over here with this guy that just joined our cause. Now let's imagine that this Antonio Abundio, this guy represents what we can see here as the actual, sorry, that was not the area, it's here, what it is here described as the imperial culture. What we're doing is that we are treating the imperial culture over here, and just for role play purposes, we're treating these as the actual conservatives of history. We have to decide if we're going to move these guys. I think not, so I'm going to take a couple of these, what is the loading rifle cannons, and take the actual Fusiliers are going to stay here, Senegalese, the Suaves, and actually the Foreign Legion, plus the Cav. I'm going to send this here. And this way we're going to have a beautiful army ready to attack here in Monterrey. So that way we're going to be able to destroy the actual faction. Let's send this guy here. Let's see what else we see here. We already see whatever we saw in the last. Okay, so now we're going to go to the Balkans, and here we can see that these guys simply didn't move, and this place is about to rebel. It doesn't matter. So the thing is that we're still going to stay here, so I'm going to place these guys a little bit closer to Athens, so this way if these guys decide to attack, we're going to be ready. Let's just move this guy here if we need to board these guys inside this navy. So let's end the turn. Okay, so now we received the message here, apparently something that has to do with this area, I believe. It says that the allied army of the Kingdom of Greece requested assistance from Francois. Your ally has requested assistance in battle. If you accept this request, your army will reinforce theirs on the battlefield. Do you wish to accept? I will accept. So this way we managed to support them, and they defeated that guy. Now there's a civil revolt in Sofia. That is something that doesn't matter, because either way this place was not part of the plan, and 1,000 citizens were killed in this revolt. We're going to let these guys revolt like that. Over here we can see something interesting. The thing that is very interesting is that we have a new family member. Let's go ahead and check the family member here. The family member is this guy. So this guy is the son, the newborn son of Crown Prince Joachim. Okay, so now we can see that the last battle was in here. I'm pretty sure this was the actual thing, that the actual army that attacked the allied Greeks. So the other thing we can do is perhaps to just besiege this, and let me see if this can do something for us. We can attack 97 men, so okay, we're going to maintain the siege here. Hopefully we're going to manage to make these guys here to join in the fight. It doesn't matter because we have a lot of troops here, and actually this is a good moment for us to see what other units are present within the Greek roster. The Greek roster has skirmishers, which have a missile attack of 26 and a melee attack of 7, plus a charge bonus of 4 and a total defense of 6. As well, we already know about the Hellenic infantry, which is the standard line infantry of the time period, with 37 missile attack, being 37 up to this point, the standard for line infantry. The other unit that I can see here, I think that's the only unit, because we just see here Hellenic infantry and the skirmishers. So far so good. Skirmishers are pretty much a little bit in lower tier than the other guys. Okay, still, let's talk with these guys and let's see what is the situation. They are enemies of the Second French Empire, the Ottoman Empire, which means, we just misclick, so we already know that these guys are still at war with the Turks. Sadly, we just misclick. It's a little bit difficult. I have mentioned this before in my previous videos. Because of the size of the map, everything is much more cramped in the actual campaign map. So let's go to America, and I'm pretty sure that we are more than ready to defeat these guys. So we're going to consolidate our troops in here, and then perhaps very soon we're going to be able to attack here. We see here this is the Prime Minister. I'm not sure we're going to be able to bribe him, but over here we see as well this guy. Oh, look at this. This is the president. Yeah, this is the president. I thought this was another guy. So this is President Refugio, which is the guy that just succeeded Benito Juarez. And here we have another troop. This is Silvestre Osornio. Perhaps we can bribe him. It would be good. Or the other option is to simply bribe the actual city of Monterrey. If it's possible, it's going to be more than welcome. Okay, it's not. Okay, this is impossible. But we see here another full stack army. So he still has this army here, so it's like saying, hey dude, you're not going to move from here. But we have these guys, so pretty much what we're going to do is to perhaps attack these guys. I'm pretty sure they are going to either run away, or perhaps this full stack is going to consolidate here. But it's okay, perhaps. Oh, we cannot take more mercenaries. And over here, perhaps we can go and retrain our troops, which is going to be good, and take a spy and a diplomat. Another diplomat. Let's continue with this diplomat. We see United States, the Union over here, that is now landing here in Central America. Let's see the Union. What is the deal with the Union? Okay, here we have the Union, and the Union is still at war with the independent nations. And this is a very opportunistic way for the Union to land troops and take this settlement that is already an independent nation. Hopefully they are not going to be able to do that. So far as I can see, they have this general staff, which has actually a picture here. And they have as well what is called here the sharpshooters with no picture, and the Union State Militia with picture. Okay, let's try to bribe these guys, if possible.
No. Another proposition for us then?
If we manage to bribe these guys, General Roswell.
Very well.
No, it's not possible.
No. Another proposition. Good day to you.
Okay, hopefully these guys are not going to take that. So we're going to end the turn here. And finally, I think we're about to finish this. Okay, guys, so we're very near for our own victory that we have set for this series. Let me see here. We just have the spy here. Let me take the spy. What we're going to do is to take this spy and spy with this guy here. he has been executed. Still, this guy has no general. Perhaps we can take the diplomat and bribe this guy. Hopefully, this is no. Not good. Okay, so we can approach. Let me see. Perhaps we can start besieging this. The thing is that, yeah, these guys are going to be joined by the other armies. So the other thing that I'm going to do is to send perhaps these guys. It's going to be a little bit difficult. So let's just wait for these guys to retreat. Let's see what is happening here in the Balkan theater. Okay, we see here that this guy's moved General Shevki in here. Where's the other guys? I think the troops of the Greeks are commanded by King George, this guy here. Okay, so we're going to still maintain the actual siege here. So let's end the turn. Let's go here and let's see what this stack is going to do. Okay, they eventually decided to sally forth, so we're going to retreat. And they move away. This is our best bet right now. Okay, guys, so we have reached the moment that we were expecting here, and we have reached the moment, the final moment in which we are going to finally take all of Mexico. So here we can see that we retreated, and then the AI decided to move and to move through this area, which is actually Texas. Eventually, I don't think these guys are at war. Is Mexico now at war with? No, it's not. It appears that United States is now about to declare war to the Mexicans. Let's see what just happened here. If they just they just have their important cities are part of the Union, so there's nothing we can do about that. The Union here decided not to do anything that will bring the Central Americans to their actual domination. So finally, what we're going to do, they just gave us Monterrey as a gift. So we're going to attack Monterrey. We can maintain the siege, and it's going to be a little bit silly not to attack, because inside the city we just see a federal infantry. So pretty much we're going to automatically resolve this. That's a clear victory. We're going to enforce strict discipline, and finally we have taken all of Mexico. I believe we have taken all of Mexico, and the only thing that is left is to attack the actual rebel armies, because now I'm going to label these Mexican armies as rebels, even though it says here that they are still alive. For example, this guy is a complete rebel, including the so-called president. Refugio is as well a rebel and an enemy of the Empire of France. Let me just go here and let's see what we can do. Let's say that we do a ceasefire. They say this is... Now, it's interesting to note that they are going to accept the ceasefire. What about if I go and say, hey dude, give me a regular tribute for 24 months. It's balanced, and a ceasefire. Let's see. They reject it and they just want a ceasefire. Okay.
Both wise and gentle. It would seem you
So
are
now we have a
very
ceasefire with Mexico.
Very well.
Now eventually, I don't see any other place that is actually Mexico. So we have Veracruz, Mexico City, and Monterrey. Yeah, that's pretty much what we have here. So I think we're done. We are done with the situation. So it says here that the hostilities are now ceasing in between Mexico and the Second French Empire. So basically we have conquered Mexico. These guys are still here. They are neutral. And this means that the actual campaign has now reached to its end. In this alternate history, Emperor Napoleon is going to be a little bit smarter, and he's not going to place any puppet king or any puppet emperor on Mexico. He's actually going to dominate the area himself. Mexico is going to be slowly but surely annexed as a administrative region of France. And if, let's say, the Union is going to win in this time period, perhaps just because of the situation with the Unionists, perhaps they are going to come down to Napoleon and give threats to the new Mexican French Empire in the Americas, and they are going to try to apply the laws of the Monroe Doctrine. That is just if they win, because in the meantime, in this timeline, Napoleon is going to be all the time trying to send money to the Confederates, so that way the Confederates could have an opportunity and win, and perhaps, if possible, even supporting them. In terms of the Balkans, we can see that we are in a stalemate here. These guys, even though they are powerful, they are not willing to attack, and we are not willing to commit our troops again to Thessaloniki, because this is going to mean a constant exchange in between Thessaloniki and the other regions over here. So it's going to be a constant exchange in between French and Turkish, the area of Thessaloniki. So let's figure this out a little bit. Perhaps in this situation, General Francois is going to continue his efforts here. In some cases, let's assume that the stalemate is not going to last forever. So at some point, there should be some treaties that will put the situation down, and a ceasefire is going to eventually be signed within the terms of France, of course. And obviously, if the possibility arises, we could take Thessaloniki and give it back to the Greeks, but that is for another occasion. So far the campaign was pretty good. I really think this mod has a lot of potential, and I would like to see more about the mod when the actual guys that are working with the mod start to add and fix things. I think it is worth. The mod is worth. So if you like, of course, the time period as much as we all like it, hopefully you enjoyed this as much as I do. This was Victus. See you in the next one.